following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into a Thanksgiving Eve production of Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao alongside Mo Patton. Glad to be with you here on this beautiful Wednesday. It's really nice out today, and it's like 65 degrees-ish today, so I'll take that. Now, tonight, not so much, but yeah, it's been a pretty good afternoon so far. Mo, how are you?
I'm good. Enjoy it while it's here, right?
Exactly. That's the only way to do it, is to enjoy it while it's here. Well, we've got a fantastic show for you, jam-packed, because we're going to be out of pocket tomorrow and Friday. Friday we'll have a best of show for you, but I'm going to at least do the rundown, Mo. So I'm gonna tape the rundown. So on Friday, if you are curious about what's going on this weekend, I'm going to go ahead and give you the rundown. And then after that, it'll be a best of show. And yeah, so enjoy that. But before we do anything else, it's Thanksgiving, which means we got to find out what's on your plate tomorrow. So if you could, what is on your ideal Thanksgiving plate, Mo?
Mine?
Yeah.
Turkey and dressing.
Okay.
Mac and cheese. Green beans. Sweet potato casserole. Deviled eggs and rolls.
Oh, deviled eggs. I forgot about that one this morning, Justin. Deviled eggs are so good.
Yeah, that's a classic.
And ham as a secondary meat.
You know, that's what we were talking about. Is, you know, you might as well have the second meat. The second meat is, I mean, there's no reason not to have.
Well, I mean, there are those that would tell you that turkey is overrated, and I would not argue it, but ham and dressing is kind of tough. And I got to have the dressing.
I would agree with you. For sure.
So the turkey is kind of the side to the dressing rather than the dressing being the side to the turkey.
I would agree with that.
So,
I would just assume have the turkey in the dressing and not have to worry about it. Kind of like chicken is. I mean, honestly, like
yeah,
it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. Because
it wouldn't hurt my feelings. And then again, the ham, ideally, yeah. I mean, if this is my dream plate, then that's kind of where I'm at.
I hear you.
We'll see how close we get to that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pretty close to that. Mac and cheese. I'm gonna have some sweet potatoes of some sort though, whether it be sweet potato casserole. I'm gonna have. Walmart is selling Patti LaBelle sweet potato pies, and apparently Patti LaBelle knows how to make a sweet potato pie because it's pretty damn good.
I have no doubt that Patti LaBelle knows how to make a sweet potato pie. I'm not a big, the conversation is sweet potato versus pumpkin. I'm a C, neither of the above, but my pie is not your pie, Chris, because I'm a pecan pie guy. Yeah.
I hear you.
Now,
I'm not mad at you.
We have found a chocolate pecan pie at Cracker Barrel. Actually, we had to put it in here to get it away from the cats. But
that's so clutch. He just pulled it out.
He did. He brought props today.
Exactly. Well, you guys are always throwing videos in on me, and I don't have the technical ability to do that, but I can just reach up and grab a pie out of nowhere. So.
Hey, look, that's probably more impressive.
Amazing.
To be honest.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we've got a great show again. Heather Williams is going to join us. David O'Connor, Giles County football coach, is going to talk to us about his team's game prior against the 7-time defending state champion Alcoa. Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah, just 7.
7-time defending. Okay, yeah.
7. Yeah, they've won 7 in a row.
The last 7. Yes. Yeah, okay.
So there you go. But And then we'll get to our high school and college football picks for the day. But before we do anything else, let's jump into yesterday's results, today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
In girls basketball action from Tuesday night, Antioch defeated Glencliff 70-6. It was Eagleville with a 49-37 win over Cascade. Cheatham County down West Creek 61-35. Clarksville 56. Clarksville Northwest 28. Nashville Christian with a 57-42 win over Columbia Academy. You can find coverage of that at the website mainstreetmurray.com. Summertown 63, Cornersville 33. Creekwood with a 53-33 win over Covington. Moore County defeated Culleoka 60-35. It was Donaldson Christian 40, Liberty Creek 34. Ensworth knocked off Clarksville Academy 63-40. Nolensville with a 48-32 win over Forest, and Lebanon 65, Franklin 36.
It was Friendship Christian 54-45 over the Tennessee Heat. The aforementioned Giles County Lady Bobcats fall to Lawrence County 57-25. Was McGavock 52, Hillwood 47. Sycamore with a 59-9 win over Hume Fogg. John Overton 62-11 over Hunters Lane. Westmoreland 48, Jackson County 32. Rossview down Kenwood 67-17. Goodness gracious. Loretto a 63-50 winner over Collinwood. Columbia Central 34, Marshall County 23. Sounds like a football score. McEwen 57-18 over East Robertson. Stewart's Creek 69-32 over Mount Juliet. Mount Pleasant 46-36 over Santa Fe. Richland 52-47 winners over Community. It was Rockville 49, DME Academy of Florida 34. Beach 70-43 over Siegel. Greenbrier 58-43 over Springfield. Summit got a 60-33 win over Laverne, while Upperman took care of Providence Christian 50-27, and White House Heritage a 43-31 winner over White House.
In boys basketball, Antioch with the 51-50 nail-biter over Glencliff. Cascade 63, Eagleville 52. West Creek down Cheatham County 73-62. It was Clarksville Northwest 63, Clarksville 37. Columbia Academy defeated Nashville Christian 73-49. Davidson Academy 53, University School of Nashville 50. Donaldson Christian with a 53-40 win over Liberty Creek. East Nashville knocked off Cane Ridge 70-53. Frank Hughes with a 59-35 win over Hampshire. Franklin 69, Lincoln County 27. York Institute defeating Friendship Christian 59-53. Lawrence County with the 81-77 win in Pulaski over Lawrence County graduate, Giles County coach Nick Campbell. Good Pasture with a 74-55 win over Independence. Hamilton defeated Pearl Cone 60-54. It was Beach Downing Harpeth 53-36. Hillsboro 49, Blackman 44. Sycamore with a 62-37 win over Hume Fogg, and Overton 64, Hunters Lane 59.
As Westmoreland over Jackson County 44-36, and Knowledge Academies a 77-50 winner over Lead Academy. It was Loretto 79, Culleoka 38, Columbia Central 84-61 over Marshall County. Martin Luther King down to Stratford 67-24. Montgomery Central took care of Stewart County with a 1-point win 55-54. It was Middle Tennessee Christian 70-55 over Mount Juliet Christian. Santa Fe 57, Mount Pleasant 34. Page 57-49 against Riverdale. It was Pope Prep over Marist, Georgia 45-42. Providence Christian 53-39 down in Ezel Harding. It was Ravenwood 52, Oakland 50, and Richland 48, Community 46, and a couple of tight ones there. Rockville over Valor Collegiate 61-38. Watertown 41-34 over Sequatchie County. Smyrna 69, Franklin Classical 31. Springfield 64, Greenbrier 58. Summertown winners over Collinwood 83-50, and Laverne edging Summit 63-60. It was Tennessee Heat 60. Coffee County 56, Green Hill 64-48 over Webb School, and White House downs White House Heritage 58-44.
In NBA action, it was the Sacramento Kings with a 113-109 win over the Memphis Grizzlies. Women's college basketball action, Cumberland knocked off UT Southern 80-61, and Trevecca on the road defeats Lee University 67-52. In men's action, Austin Peay with an early game yesterday, a 53-46 victory over Fairleigh Dickinson, and UT Southern on the road defeats Cumberland 73-64. College football on Tuesday night. Maction, Miami of Ohio defeats Ball State 18-17. Sounds like a good one. And Ohio University, no state, defeats Bowling Green 38-14.
Not the. Girls basketball today. Moore County currently taking on Summertown over at Cornersville. They tipped off at 1 o'clock. Loretto and Cornersville will play at 4 at Cornersville. In boys basketball action, it's Riverdale and Nolensville. They played at noon. Blackman at Centennial, tipping at 1:30. It was Hillsboro. Hillsboro and Webb School at 3 o'clock. Loretto's boys at Cornersville at 5:30, and Soddy Daisy taking on Watertown at 8.
Women's basketball action in progress. Incarnate Word is playing Austin P. That game tipped off at 1. Location
Savannah,
unknown.
Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia. Okay. All right. Men's basketball action at 3 o'clock on ESPN Plus. You can find Lipscomb at the Roundhouse. I don't think they call it that anymore. It's McKenzie Arena, taking on the Mocs of Tennessee Chattanooga. Tennessee State plays High Point at 4 o'clock today. At 6:30 on ESPN2. Butler plays Tennessee, and St. Mary's plays Vanderbilt at 10:59. Not a minute sooner on ESPN2.
That's what it said.
Man, in Detroit, in NHL action, the Nashville Predators face the Red Wings. That's a 6 o'clock puck drop on Valley Sports South, and that is your rundown.
Top story today, just real quick, initial reactions to last night's college football playoff rankings, Mo. Surprised to see Tennessee drop all the way to 10th. Did not think Oregon was going to be 9.
I think that was the biggest surprise. I wasn't necessarily surprised to see Tennessee at 10, but again, it was a show your work kind of thing, and I did not expect to see Oregon jump up into single digits there. So yeah, that would be about my biggest takeaway from the whole thing from last night.
What about number 7 and 8? I told you they were going to be 7, but
well, so there you go. So why should I be surprised? You told me.
I mean, it's still interesting though that the committee just does not like Clemson's resume.
I don't either.
And North Carolina didn't help them. If North Carolina loses to North Carolina State this week, it's going to be bad news for Clemson.
Reminds me of that meme. I would like to see it. I got nothing for Clemson these days. Haven't in quite some time, but every time Dabo opens his mouth, something stupid seems to fall out of it. So, it's a little fascinating to see two teams ahead of Tennessee that Tennessee beat. But again, it's going to be tough to erase the stain of 63-38 to an unranked, unheralded South Carolina. So, I mean, I get it. It's just, it's a little galling if you're a UT fan to see two teams that you beat at 5 and 7 and you're down there at 10, but you did it to yourself. So what can you do?
How insane is it that Louisville is ranked 25th?
Pretty dang.
That team looked absolutely putrid.
Dead in the water.
Putrid.
They looked dead in the water, and dude looked like he was going to be looking for someplace else to be.
We legitimately thought he was next on the list to get fired. He may still be on coach's hot
right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's played his way or coached his way out of that position, but yeah, they've certainly put on a late burst here. He is not in the top 10 on coacheshotseat.com at this point.
I can't imagine he wouldn't.
Not only is he not in the top 10, he's not in the top 20.
Wow. I guess he has, in fact, played himself off the hot seat.
You got to go all the way down to, oh, goodness. I am down to number 50 and still don't see Louisville, and I've forgotten the guy's name.
Isn't it Scott Satterfield or something?
Yes. Man,
So
he is at 83rd.
wow. That's a little shocking to me. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little shocking to me. So, well, there you go.
Jimbo Fisher number 1, by the way.
yeah, that's not surprising, is it?
Well, it's not, but it is for reasons that we've discussed ad nauseum. 86 of them.
Right. One of the things that I saw CBS Sports said that they were projecting Tennessee to play Cincinnati in the Cotton Bowl.
In the Cotton Bowl, I've seen Tennessee, Cincinnati. I've seen Tennessee, Clemson, and you know which one I'd prefer.
Well, Tennessee, Clemson, in the Orange Bowl just makes too much damn sense.
Which is why it'll be Tennessee, Cincinnati in the Cotton Bowl.
Of course it will. I mean,
the Butch Jones Bowl.
Yeah, hey, there you go. we'll just have trash cans and Champions of Life posters scattered about.
Butch Jones number 6 on that hot seat ranking, by the way.
He should probably be number 1 or 2. I am really interested to see how this one plays out. I was a little surprised to see LSU ahead of USC though, but again, when RJ Young asked the question, how is that possible? My answer to him was because this committee looks at what you've done, not what you could do.
Well, they look at what you've done, not what you could do, with the exception of what you did in August.
Maybe. But again, USC's one loss came to a team that just lost to Vanderbilt. So maybe the SEC is pretty darn good. That's USC's wins are still ahead of them. Their best wins are still ahead of them, which are Notre Dame and Oregon. So if USC wins out and they win the Pac-12, they're going to be in the top 4. They're going to jump LSU, so long as LSU loses to Georgia, I guess.
And I think that's got to be what the committee is hoping for at this point.
Yeah,
because if LSU beats Georgia, then all hell breaks loose.
LSU beats Georgia, USC's 12-1. Say TCU wins out, then you've got 5 teams for 4 spots. And that's not ideal. And you can either go with the 1-loss conference runner-up or the 2-loss conference champion. Your choice.
Your
And at that point, who knows? So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I think the committee has put itself in a good position. I think they feel confident that, if LSU was to beat Georgia, they're probably going to get both in. And then you've got an undefeated conference champion versus a one-loss conference champion in USC versus TCU. You put TCU in. You move Ohio State to 1. You put Ohio State to 1, TCU 2, Georgia 3, LSU 4, and you get Ohio State. Or I guess LSU 3.
Yeah.
You should put LSU 3. So LSU, TCU, and Ohio State, Georgia. Heck, Ohio State, Georgia would be a heck of a semifinal, wouldn't it?
Ohio State, Georgia would be your championship game because LSU would not beat Georgia twice.
I would agree.
And LSU will blow the doors off of TCU.
I would agree with that as well. So LSU, Georgia for the Natty, I guess.
Yeah, with Georgia winning it.
Wouldn't that be something?
Load up on that.
Man, I don't know. Anyway, we'll take a break here. Heather Williams was scheduled to join us. I haven't spoken with her, but we'll get with her and get her back on here in just a second. But happy Thanksgiving, as you see there in the top right-hand corner. Happy Thanksgiving to you from Main Street Sports Today. We'll be back with Heather Williams of WCYB-TV right here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao and Mo Patton here on this Wednesday, November 23rd edition. And it is Wednesday, which means we get a chance to talk to our resident NASCAR expert, Heather Williams. Heather, what's up?
Well, I'm about to head out the door to shoot some highlights of a couple of holiday tournaments going on here in the greater Bristol, Johnson City area. And then the ETSU men's basketball team plays tonight. So that's what's on my agenda for today.
Doesn't sound very holiday-ish, Heather.
What's a holiday? I work in television. We always work.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Hey, I don't want to steal Chris's thunder, so I'm going to throw it back to him to ask you about this.
Well, it's no thunder stolen, Mo. You can certainly ask. But the NASCAR and Fox and NBC are about to start negotiating their next media rights deal, Heather. And according to Front Office Sports, NASCAR could be looking at close to $1 billion in this new deal. Is this something that's actually possible based off of, the last few years' success or lack of success, either one?
Well, I think that the television ratings have definitely been on the upswing since COVID. I mean, one of the very good things that NASCAR did during COVID is that they were able to capture a sports audience that didn't have much to do during COVID. First with the iRacing that they were able to do while everybody was still in quarantine, and then they were the first to get on the track because they were a self-contained, non-contact kind of sport. So when there were no other sports to watch, NASCAR was there, and they were able to I think attract some new fans, and television ratings have certainly been up ever since then. So I think that it's an attractive sport to a lot of folks, just because of where a lot of sports, the ratings have maybe leveled off or even dropping, like in baseball. The numbers are going up in NASCAR. Just about every race this year had higher ratings than they had the previous couple of years. So you see this uptick. So yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility. I think it's attractive to television broadcasters.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Obviously, the current deal is worth $820 million per year from the two networks, and they seem to be happy with Fox and NBC.
Yeah, I think they've landed there. I mean, there's been some rumors that ESPN might want to try to get back into NASCAR or some sort of motor. They have F1, but they actually produce that. They take somebody else's broadcast and put it on ESPN. But I don't know that ESPN wants to spend that kind of money. So I'm not sure that they're a serious contender. The relationship with Fox and NBC has worked out really positively, especially I think on the NBC side. It was an unfortunate demise of NBCSN, but moving those sports to USA Network, which is there's races, which are in far more households than NBCSN was in, has given them more exposure. So I think they're incredibly happy with the current deal right now. I would like to keep both those partners if it works out.
That was going to be my biggest thing, was how different it has been with USA Network versus, NBCSN. USA Network has kind of become, for lack of a better term, the junk drawer of television networks. They kind of have a little bit of everything, and it's really cool.
Yeah, how often could you watch a rerun of Law and Order while you're sitting at a rain delay at Nashville? Because I think that was what they were playing while they were waiting out that rain there. Yeah, but it also
was it SVU though?
I don't remember. They're
Probably
all the same to me. I'm not a Law and Order watcher, so I know. I was more of a CSI kind of girl, so. It's also been good for them, though, just in this fact that they've been able to do these reality shows and different types of reality shows and get them more exposure NASCAR's been in the reality game all the way back to the Speed Network. They had a ton of, if you're a hardcore racing fan, the reality shows NBS 24/7, where they followed around Busch Series teams. They had the NASCAR cribs. Like, they had a bunch of stuff, but it didn't reach a wide audience. I mean, by being on USA Network with the Drive for the Championship and Austin Dillon's Racing Life, those are reaching not just NASCAR fans. A regular just TV viewer can stumble on that and perhaps get hooked on NASCAR or get attached to one of the characters and want to follow the races to see how their favorite driver or character, like Austin's wife or his tire changer or his tire changer's wife. I mean, you can get attached to those pretty easily.
You mentioned Austin Dillon, and so I'm going to throw this out there because I was watching Dale Jr.'s podcast. I'm not sure if it was this week or before, but he had mentioned about, when he's driving down the road and he sees that number 3 or the number 8, he's like, I'm only 80% sure now that they're Earnhardt fans, because, you just kind of don't know with the number. He said, I think they should retire the font and change the font of the 3 and the 8. What do you think?
I think Austin might be disappointed if they did, because I think you would find that they're mostly junior and senior fans. With no disrespect to Austin, but it's been several years now. In fact, it's been close to 20 years since I did a story when I was working in Nashville with a company that did sports memorabilia. And at the time, that would have been 5 or 6 years after, I guess about 5 years after Earnhardt Sr. died. And he still made up something like 80 to 90% of the sports memorabilia sold at the time for drivers. And all the rest of the drivers made up that last 20%. I'm sure the number has gone down somewhat, but I think that Earnhardt Jr. has probably picked up a lot of those numbers. And I think the percentage of Earnhardt to other drivers is probably still upwards of 70%, with Chase Elliott kind of being super popular, so probably taking up some of those numbers. But the name Earnhardt's still the biggest seller in NASCAR. So, I mean, it might be nice to be able to differentiate, but I don't know that Austin would necessarily like the results of that.
Oh, no, I don't think he would either. Well, that was just a thought. I just, it is interesting. That Richard has continued to use that font, and that's fine. I mean, it's so synonymous with the RCR brand. It doesn't make sense to change it for him, certainly. So, but
well, and I think you might see an uptick in more 8 fans being Kyle Busch fans now, as opposed to just junior fans. The split in the 8 might be a little more equal than the 3. I like Austin. I don't want to just sit here and dunk on Austin.
Yeah, no, it's not Austin's fault.
But he's not a super popular driver. He's a great kid. He's super smart. I mean, he's the general manager of a pro bull riding team in Charlotte, and I talked to him about that. And his general managing skills are really impressive. Like he could have he'll probably be very successful running RCR when he decides to stop racing and work in the front office. Because I really think that's where his talent is. I think the kid is sharp as a tack, but he's not even in the top probably 10, I don't think, of Cup Series drivers when it comes to merchandise sales.
So this kind of sounds like a read the room kind of thing for Austin.
a little bit. I mean, look, I'm sure he has a lot of fans, and it's probably especially like in Welcome where the shop's located and that kind of stuff. But I mean, Earnhardt's still the king of memorabilia. He basically invented the game. Was the first to trademark his name and his merchandise and all that kind of stuff in NASCAR. And so any other driver, that's why I said I think you might see a little bit more of an equitable division in the 8 car when Kyle takes over. But I mean, when it comes to merchandise, it's Earnhardt and everybody else.
Yeah. Well, it's I think it's going to be interesting. I think this TV deal could very well happen if for nothing else, the competitiveness that we saw this year with the new car, a lot of folks, it's kind of a any given Sunday type of thing now. And that could be a huge play for NASCAR.
Well, and I also think one of the things that the race for the championship did is it really gave people a chance to meet all these really young up and coming drivers that maybe people didn't really know a ton about. I think that, like, if you look at Joey Logano, I think he might have been the biggest winner from that series. A lot of people talk about how when they got to know Joey off the track, they liked him because all they ever knew of Joey was this aggressive punk kid who would do anything to win. But I've said this for a long time. Outside of the race car, Joey is he's the best interview in the garage area, one of the most insightful people to talk to. He's a super nice guy, does a ton for charity. Then he's just a family guy. But you don't get to see that if all you ever do is see him behind the wheel of a race car. So, and it's not just Joey. I mean, there were so many drivers that took part in that people got to know. They got to pick their favorite from watching that. And so I think it gave this new up and coming next generation of drivers because, I mean, we're reaching an end of an era, right? I mean, Kevin Harvick's close to retiring. Denny Hamlin's probably 5 years or so from jumping out of a race car. Kurt Busch has stepped out of the race car. So we're reaching the end of that era. And as these young guys come up, introducing them and getting people to really know who they are, I think is going to be important. And I think the TV deal has played a large part in that.
There you go. Heather Williams, WCYB-TV. We appreciate your time, Heather, as always, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, it's always fun, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, Heather.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. We take a quick break as we get ready to hand out some hardware and talk to David O'Connor of Giles County on Coach's Corner in just a few moments. So stick around here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Be back after this.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mo, let's hand out some hardware.
Let's do. Where you want to start?
We'll start with the End-to-Win Life Team of the Week, Southern Middle Tennessee, presented by our friends at Custom Stone Handlers. CSH, nope. Nope. Hang on. Nope. Jump the gun, Justin. You jumped the gun. The Team of the Week.
Sorry.
Southern Middle Tennessee Team of the Week. Again, Custom Stone Handlers, CSH, great folks, Ned, Rich, and the fine folks at Custom Stone Handlers. We appreciate them. Who is it, Mo?
The Independence Eagles boys basketball team won 3 games last week, averaged 83 points a game, including a 142 win over Shelbyville. They are our End-to-Win Life Southern Middle Tennessee Team of the Week this week. So congratulations to second-year coach Mark Wilkins and his bunch.
There's and then of course we just read in the rundown they got a good pasture put it on them yesterday. With Thanksgiving, you never know what you're going to get team wise. You never know who might have been out, but Good Pasture is a really good basketball team.
Good Pasture is a really good basketball team, and they are a lot like Independence in that they are kind of guard oriented. With the Vanderbilt commitment, Isaiah West, and then also a junior guard, King Curie. And I think those two guys kind of carried them in that matchup. But you kind of know what you're going to get with Independence with Jet Montgomery, who's a walk-in bucket, as they like to say, and continues to be that. Already had 1,000 points coming into his junior year, and again, is the focal point of that offense. But yeah, they lost to Good Pasture yesterday after losing in overtime to the Webb School, the Webb Feet of Bell Buckle. So, but I think that's as much a function of their schedule as anything.
Sure. So absolutely. All right, and now, Justin, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Athlete of the Week, Mo.
Well, it's right there on the screen. Alden Slaughter in 2 games last week averaged 35.5 points per game. Scored 47 last Friday night in Santa Fe's 75-62 win at East Hickman. So when he scored 35 last night, his average came down.
That's unfortunate. The kid is unreal. And here's the thing. You can do everything you can to try and stop him, but you can't stop him. You can't just you can't eliminate him from the game. It just can't be done.
No, but you really can't take him out. I mean, because his range, and I think he's gotten bigger and stronger, and so I think driving the ball is more part of his game than it had been previously. And I mean, if you try to take him away, I think there's enough weapons around him that eventually you're going to break down defensively, and he doesn't need much.
No, he doesn't. So looking forward to watching him, because he's been fun to watch over the last couple of years, but it's only going to get better. I got a feeling.
Yeah. I am in text contact with Giles County football coach David O'Connor, who is experiencing issues getting the link to work on his computer and getting his microphone to work on his phone. So we're kind of filling here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will.
But as we mentioned, Giles County has Alcoa coming to the Brickyard Friday night. I almost said tomorrow night, and I knew that wasn't right, even as I got ready to say it, in the Class 3A state semifinals. So that's a big one.
Now, obviously, last year, Giles County had to go to Alcoa in the semifinals and lost 42-12. But, and I'm sure that travel is going to have a little bit of an impact on Alcoa, but it's still the 7-time defending champs. This is a game that Giles County has to feel at least good about being at home. They're like, thank goodness we don't have to travel.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, well, I was going to say when you look at their region, but heck, it seemed like their region schedule was really pretty good to them in that their two most distant opponents both had to come to Giles County this year. Both Grundy County and Sequatchie County played in Pulaski during the regular season. So they weren't terribly challenged as far as that went.
And Sweetwater had to come here as well.
And Brainerd to open.
Yeah. So, I mean,
in fact, shoot, look at this.
They've been at home the whole way.
They've been at home the entire postseason.
Yep. Because Loudon was a 2 seed, so that obviously put them in at Giles County. And then last week, the luck of the draw being on the bottom of the bracket helps.
Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw, like you said. It's where they fell, and hopefully they can take advantage of being at home Friday night for the 4th week in a row.
While we're talking high school sports here, Mo, did you happen to see Columbia Central put out their football schedule? And some interesting opponents. Hunter's Lane in week 3. James Lawson in week 10. So the first year school there. And Dixon County and Marshall County round out the non-conference schedule.
Well, those latter two have both been traditional rivals for Columbia Central, and being able to hang on to them for another cycle is always a good thing from a gate standpoint and that kind of thing. I think they kind of have some ties to James Lawson, formerly Hillwood. And so being able to get that game on the schedule was a good one.
For Columbia Central, this gate-wise, anybody who's been around the program, both basketball, football, whatever, this is a pretty darn good schedule when you really, you got those traditional rivals in Marshall County and Dixon County, but then you got Shelbyville, Lawrence County, Tullahoma, Spring Hill, Franklin County, Lincoln County. These are teams that you're used to playing in every other sport.
That's the old District 8 AAA right there, and they were somewhat able to reestablish that through this new reclassification here, and Spring Hill as well.
It's pretty cool to look at that. So, all right. Well, unfortunately, it looks like From the Heart Cafe and the Coach's Corner is
a no-go.
Not quite going to work out this week.
Yeah, we kind of had some technical issues getting Coach O'Connor on, and that's unfortunate, but we'll I just texted him and said, appreciate you trying. Good luck Friday night. And he said, we'll need more than I just had. So
well, he's probably not quite wrong. Before we get out of here on high school football, and I know we're going to be making some picks here on the other side of the break, but just want to mention Coach's Corner is brought to you each week by our friends at From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. And we appreciate Renee Hart and the fine folks over there who do such a fantastic job.
Now serving breakfast,
all of the great catering options.
It's probably a little late for Thanksgiving, though.
Probably a little late for Thanksgiving, but I promise you, it would be worth your while to make a trip to Chapel Hill and go see Renee Hart and the fine folks there. Before we get out of here, finalists for Mr. Football have been announced. Class 1A, Kamara Brown out of Mace, Jackson Cassidy of McKinsey, and Isaiah Thomason of Fayetteville, the finalists in Class 1A. In Class 2A, Jaquan Davis of Fairleigh, Josh Jackson of Tyner Academy, and Zach Prince of East Robertson.
Zach.
That's what I thought I said.
That is what you said.
Oh, okay.
I
was like, did I say it wrong?
No. I was emphasizing it. It's Zach with an E, not Zach with an A.
Assuming it's Zechariah, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
I would hope anyway.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just Zach.
It could be. Who knows? In 3A, Jordan Harris of Alcoa and Lance Williams, teammates there, and Mark Joseph of Sheffield. I'll be honest with you. Kamari Turner of Giles County deserved to be in that conversation. I know Alcoa is Alcoa, but dadgum, Kamari Turner's good. 4A, Gabe Borders of Macon County, Marcellus Jackson of Fulton, and Walker Martinez from Anderson County. Class 5A, Deshaun Bishop of Carnes, Malachi Dowell of White County, and Braden Latham, Knoxville West. That one may be as wide open as any of them. You would think Malachi Dowell, but, Deshaun Bishop, after the year he had last year and followed it up with a great season again, who knows? And
then hard to ignore anybody from West.
Exactly, because they're just
they're having.
Absolutely just manhandling everyone. In Class 6A, Justin Brown at Blackman, Arian Carter from Smyrna, and Noah Vaughn of Maryville. Brown and Carter, good. I don't think Noah Vaughn's going to win this award. Maybe he will, but between Brown and Carter, you'd have to just let me flip a coin.
Well, here's the thing: Brown and Carter may split the vote. And
that's true.
Gonna get the East Tennessee vote. So
there you go. It very well may be. Division 2. It really just depends on who gets the Western Tennessee vote. In Division 2A, Nashville Christian's Jared Curtis, USJ's Kevin. Yeah, the freshman, man. I'm telling you, he's been fantastic. DJ Merriweather, who I had a chance to see at Clarksville Academy, he's really, really good. And Kevin Finch at USJ. Caleb Beasley, the Tennessee commit from Lipscomb Academy in D2 2A. Charlie Robinson of Knoxville Webb and Junior Sherrill from Lipscomb Academy as well. D2 3A, Max Carroll.
Where's Sherrill committed?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. It's a big school though.
Vanderbilt.
There you go.
So take that for what it's worth.
D2 AAA, Max Carroll of Briarcrest. Goodness gracious, I could not say that. Caleb Hampton of Baylor and Marcel Reed of MBA. You got a East, Middle, and West there, so good luck. Lausanne's Max Gilbert, Germantown's Oziel Hernandez. I have no idea how to say that name.
I think it's Oziel.
Oziel Hernandez and Reese Keeney of Farragut for Kicker of the Year. So there you have it. All right, we'll take a short break here. When we come back, high school football pick'em coming your way here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. You guys stick around.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. It is time to do some picking It's always fun. So the staff-wide prep are coming your way here in just a moment. Apparently, they have not posted yet, Mo.
They have
So
not.
we will have to go to the old email and find them. So
and you will find that one of our staffers has yet to pick,
which is why it hasn't been posted.
We won't call him out, but yeah, he is gumming up the works there. So
how about, speaking of staffers, apparently Main Street Media has a bowling team for George Plaster's big bowling thing next week, and Justin has been elected to be on the team.
Yes, sir.
So,
recruited.
Congrats to Justin for being recruited for the bowling team. Of course, he's just going to follow Casey Patrick and look like a fool.
Oh yeah, I'm going to ride his coattails. That's for sure.
Who else is on your team, Justin?
I believe it's me, Casey, Zach, and Russell. I think is.
Lord.
Who is y'all celebrity?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Do they pick celebrities before Monday?
Yeah, so it'll be one celebrity for each team.
Yeah, but like, have they set the celebrities?
Have the celebrities been assigned to the teams?
To my knowledge, I think either that's happening right now and they'll have them ready by polling day, or it is already happened. But
I think it would be cool if it was like a lottery, like you roll it out and like draw it out of a hat. That'd be cool.
Now, when is this event?
The 28th.
It's Monday.
Okay. Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
At Strike and Spare, right?
Correct.
So it's the most fun bowling event you'll ever attend, as George says.
A night
according
you'll never
to George,
forget.
anyway. Of course, I've only attended like 3 bowling events. So
George would never lie.
No, we can never.
He doesn't have it in him.
Book it.
That's right. We go now to the Main Street Prep's game of the week. It is Maryville at Oakland, Friday at 7. All these games are Friday at 7, I think.
7 local time.
No, they're not. Because Beach is at Bartlett. So yes, sorry. I was going the wrong direction. Yeah, I think all of them are Central Time. So
nope. Oh, well, yeah. All of these. I saw one that isn't.
Is Tyner?
York at Tyner. Tyner's in Chattanooga. That's a 6 o'clock start. So, yeah.
There you go. All right. So, 7 o'clock Friday night, Maryville at Oakland.
Appointment TV. I'm assuming it's on TV.
It probably will be, and it's appointment football. You can set your calendars to.
You can set your calendar by the Friday after Thanksgiving. Maryville and Oakland playing somewhere. This year it's in Murfreesboro.
And
I don't think it would matter.
I don't think it would matter either. I've got Oakland in this.
I don't think it would matter.
31-24. This is not the best Maryville team we've seen. So, you feel like Oakland's should win this football game, but I'm not counting the Rebs out.
I'm not counting. I mean, it would be hard to be surprised if Maryville won this football game because they are still Maryville. But like you said, this is not the Maryville that we've gotten used to seeing. And I feel like that loss to CPA back in week 7 or 8 or whenever that was really got Oakland's attention, really allowed Kevin Creasy to get them refocused. And that was in week 7. Because it was the first week of October.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm going to Oakland here, and I
think again, Maryville isn't these teams, but since Oakland lost 35-14 at CPA on October 6th, they have beaten Riverdale 42-6, Liberty Creek 69-0, Rockvale 49-7, Shelbyville 65-0, Lebanon 41-7, and Blackman 48-23.
Heading to Memphis will be the Bucks of Beach going to Bartlett. This is going to be a really good. I think this is probably a better football game than even Oakland Maryville.
I think it will be a more entertaining football game. I think it will be a closer game, probably. I like Bartlett at home. Of course, I liked Cane Ridge at home last week, and the Buccaneers made a liar out of me to the tune of 35-7. So, but I'm going with Bartlett.
I'm going to go Beach here, and this is the best Beach team that I've probably seen since I've been here. Just a really, really good football program. So I'm going to go with the Bucks to get the win on the road and get their shot at West.
No.
Look. Oh, that's right. Oh, they're 6A. I forget they're 6A now.
Yeah.
They get their shot at Oakland.
They would get their shot at Oakland.
Hey, yeah, that would be fun. All mid-state Class 6A. Here for it. Coalfield at Clay County. Now, this is.
We're getting there is half the fun.
If you want to watch it, it'll be on NFHS Network. For better or worse. This Clay County team, historic this run. Now, I don't know much about Coalfield at all, so that's why I picked Clay County.
Coalfield has made some state championship game appearances, not recently. Clay County, I don't think this is as close as they have ever been to a state championship appearance, I do believe. And they've done it in pretty decisive fashion. Their only loss was 20-19 to Westmoreland back in week 6, looks like. And again, they've put up some big numbers since.
First-year coach Bruce Lamb, by the way.
Formerly of Livingston Academy. He's at Livingston Academy for quite some time, and I think made a state championship appearance or two with the Wildcats. And so he's had some success and obviously has transferred that over to Clay County. So,
well, if you're into comparing scores, the only loss for Coalfield this year was to Gordonsville. Clay County defeated Gordonsville in week 11, 27-20. So,
and then defeated Gordonsville last week 41-6.
Well, yeah, but Gordonsville beat this Coalfield team 42-21 in week 6.
Okay.
So,
if
those are that's where we're at. So, there you go.
I'm taking Clay County.
As am I. East Nashville is at Covington on Friday. Going on the road are the Eagles. It's not an easy trip.
It's not an easy trip. It's not a short trip. But East Nashville has gotten used to traveling as a result of that 15-14 loss at Smith County in the final week of the regular season. They have traveled. This will be their third straight week. They went to Waverly and won. They went back to Smith County and won. And so I just feel like this is another business trip for the Eagles at this point. And I expect them to go down there and take care of business and get back to Chattanooga and find who they, well, anyway, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Covington here. I have no real basis for that other than it's a long trip. They've pretty well dominated up to this point in the playoffs, and so I'm gonna go with Covington here.
I mean,
just a hunch.
I don't know that there's necessarily a bad pick this time of year. Covington's two losses were in the season opener to Munford and to Haywood, the Tomcats, who we'll be discussing here in just a second. So
that's right. Alcoa at Giles County. You were just about to mention it. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I just think Alcoa's tradition, the 7 times defending state champs, they're going to have to somebody's going to have to make me wrong. I'm picking Alcoa.
I'm going to go with Alcoa as well. Just like you said, they're going to have to make me pick against them. So yeah, I'm going to go with Alcoa 45-35. I think it'll be a good football game though. As you said, we'll be talking about Haywood as Pearl Cone makes the trip over, and the Tomcats, one of the cooler nicknames against the Firebirds, against one of the other cooler nicknames in the state.
You don't find a lot of Tomcats. It's pretty unique.
Especially on the girl side.
Lady Tomcats.
I really hate we didn't get to ask that question, by the way.
Yeah, one of the unintended consequences of not getting David O'Connor, former Buckhorn coach David O'Connor.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think the Firebirds get the win here, make their trip back to Chattanooga.
I do as well. I think Tony Brunetti's done a really good job for a really long time. I think this team might not be as good as last year's team that didn't get this far, but there's something about this group. And again, they've really had to work on the road as well. They went down to Hardin County a couple of weeks ago and won. They went to Lexington last week and won. They've been tested in some tough environments, and I feel like they get it done this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, their only 2 losses are against a team that's probably going to, win Division 2, 3A, and then a quarterfinalist in Class 6A. This is not, and they play in the toughest region, in my opinion. Now, it was a little bit less tough this year, but it's not easy to win every game in that district the way that they won it. I mean,
decisively.
Outside of Marshall County, they gave up 22 points in region play. They gave up more points to Marshall County than they gave up to anybody else.
Everybody else, yeah.
Everybody else combined. So there's that. So yeah, I'm picking the Firebirds. And then Henry County hosting Page. Oof, we've seen that trip before.
We've seen that trip before, and these two have seen each other before. I don't remember where were we last year? We were at Summit and who last year when we were hearing about this one?
Oh, who did Summit play in the semifinals last year? I completely forgot.
I've completely forgotten.
Off the top of my head, could not tell you.
But we were hearing about this one, this matchup at Page that wound up being 56-52 Page. And I think they had to score late to get there. But expect this one to be another classic. Henry County doesn't lose a whole lot at home, and I don't think they lose this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not easy to go up there and get a win, even if you jump on them.
No, because they don't go away, man.
I mean, last week, Springfield got up, 19-0, and ended up getting beat. So you can't knock them out. You can only knock them down. So I've got Henry County winning this one as well. I think the Patriots win. Go pay it.
Yeah. I feel quite confident the Patriots win.
And finally, New York Institute at Tyner Academy. This one is at 6 o'clock. There's a 6 o'clock kick, Central Time. And New York Institute is at Tyner. And boy, Tyner has been almost unstoppable to this point.
They were ranked number 1 in the state pretty much throughout, certainly the second half of the season. And Class 2A has looked pretty wide open, but I feel like Tyner's got a little extra motivation to play in the state championship in its backyard.
Yeah, absolutely. I would think so. Their only loss of the year was to Alcoa. So,
No shame in that.
And they came to East Robertson last week and put it on them.
Mm-hmm.
And East Robertson's good, y'all. So
yeah, they came in there and they kicked butt and took names and got out. So yeah, I like the Rams in this one.
I too like the Rams over York Institute. So there you go. All right. Well, on the season, Mo sits at 140, and I'm at 92-48. So, all right, we'll take a break. When we come back, college football picks right here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Y'all stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
All right, welcome back in to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Time for some college football picks. Mo, how did we do last week?
Let's see. Justin was 5-5.
500.
I was 6-4. Chris, you were 3-7.
Tough week.
Really, for everybody, even the football team, college footballs.
Yeah, even the teams, it was tough for. Yeah, so it was a little ugly.
Well, because I don't think this includes any games for Friday. I think all of these games are Saturday from the ESPN College Pick'em. So we may have some extras to throw in this week since we're doing it on Wednesday, and there are some early games. But we'll start on Saturday, 11 a.m. kick, big noon kickoff on Fox. It is number 3 Michigan, number 2 Ohio State. Ohio State 7.5-point favorites, folks.
And that game is in Columbus, right?
That game is in Columbus, yes.
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that, Chris? My bad, man.
Michigan at Ohio State.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Ohio State is what?
7.
7.5.
7.5.
Who goes first?
You?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'll go Ohio State. Yeah, I'm going to go Ohio State to cover that for sure.
Chris?
I'm going to go Ohio State as well. 45% of the general public on the Buckeyes. So I'm going to go against them, against the public.
There you go.
So you're going Ohio State?
Correct.
Okay. You said 45% is taking Ohio State, so 55% is taking Michigan then. So, yeah.
It's within the system's margin of error where you can go either way, but I'm going to go with Ohio State.
So basically, that's Ohio State by 8. Yeah, give me the Buckeyes.
They're probably going to do something stupid like a scoop and score at the end to cover. Saturday, ABC, 11 a.m. kick. South Carolina at Clemson. Clemson, 14.5-point favorites.
14.5 is a lot of points.
14.5 is a lot of points, but obviously Spencer Rattler scares me after last week. I mean, I don't know if he can put that kind of game together 2 weeks in a row. I don't know how much of it was him and how much of it was the defense he was facing.
That's true. Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world that Clemson would be a 15-point favorite in this ball game, but after last week, I just don't know.
Right. How many, which I'm not sure if anybody has this on the top of their head, but do we know how much Tennessee was favored by?
22.
22. See, yeah, that's
But it's at Clemson. This is not at South Carolina. It's not at Williams-Brice. It's not at night. It's 11
What
o'clock.
time is it?
11 o'clock.
So I'm gonna go against Rattler just because you're supposed to use emotion when you're betting. So I'm gonna go Clemson to cover 14.
You're taking Clemson to cover 14.5. I too am taking Clemson to cover 14.
I 3 am taking Clemson to cover. 38%. We're all going against the general public. The public is on South Carolina.
And recency bias, I can understand it.
Right.
But
it would be something if he kept that up, that performance.
I think it would be funny. If I don't know what other games we're picking necessarily, but if there's one that I wouldn't mind being wrong on, it's this one.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I don't like either of their coaches, but I do like Marcus Satterfield, who is a East Tennessee native. So I'll give Marcus the nod if I've got to take somebody.
Well, I'm not a big fan of either of these coaches, but I'm less of a fan of Dabo and I'm more of a fan of Frank Beamer. So
there you go.
So, yeah.
11 o'clock kick on ESPN, Georgia Tech at Georgia, 34.5 for the Bulldogs. I'm just going to tell you, it's Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
No, that's a lot of points, and Georgia Tech has been playing surprisingly well of late.
Yeah, they've upset some people.
And playing for bowl eligibility.
And rivalry.
Well, I don't think they're going to win the game. Don't get it twisted.
But they're going to
35.
That's what I'm saying, though. They're going to play. They've got something to play for.
Right.
So they're not going to go out there and lay an egg.
I think Georgia has something to play for as well, as last Saturday night would. I think that's the last thing that Kirby says to them when they go out there. Don't let that happen to you. So, I think they'll be on point. I just don't. 35 is a lot of points, man.
Exactly.
So many.
So we're all Georgia Tech then? So,
I've got
I'm going Georgia Tech for sure.
CBS 2:30 Iron Bowl. Auburn at Alabama, 21.5 points for the Tide.
Didn't Auburn upset them last year, didn't they, or the year before?
No, they were going to upset them, and then Bryce Young.
Oh, yeah. 21.5. Oh, man.
Again, Alabama wins this game.
This is rivalry. This is a tough calls with the spreads here. In general.
That's a lot of points. I'm going Auburn.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Auburn as well. Those games always seem to come down to the last drive. Or
this isn't going to come down to the last drive. I just don't think Alabama beats them by 22.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that.
If it were in Jordan Hare, I would say you're probably right, but I'm going to go with the Tide.
I can understand that.
So you like a Bama fan now?
And you may be right.
I mean, I was till I was 10.
That's true. That's true.
3 o'clock on Fox. Iowa State, the last place team in the Big 12 that defeated the Big 10 West champion Iowa, by the way. Just throwing that out there. The last place team in the Big 12 beat the Big 10 West champion. One of them is not going to go bowling. The other one is going to play for a conference title.
Play
throwing
for
that out there.
Play for being the key phrase.
Yeah, they're going to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
How much they're going to be doing. But Iowa State at TCU. TCU only 10.5 points here.
Iowa's got a good defense, right?
Iowa State.
Iowa State, I mean.
Yeah, this is not Iowa's defense. No.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I got it confused there. I'm going to go TCU. I've bet against them pretty much this whole year, so I cannot believe they're still undefeated.
I can't believe they're still undefeated either, Justin. Yeah. And for that reason, I mean,
I'm jumping on the bandwagon, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle to pick against them at this point. I mean, they had a couple of opportunities. Texas should have beat them going into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Baylor should have beat them last week. They've again, they have a horseshoe lodged somewhere, but I'm going to go with the Frogs.
72% of the public on the Horned Frogs.
What's Chris Yao?
So the system says Iowa State then, right?
10.5 points at home against a team that's not even going bowling. There's something fishy. They're begging you to take TCU. Begging you to take TCU.
The system.
And I'm going to let them. I'm going Horned Frogs too.
Absolutely. We'll fall right into that trap.
Yeah. Well, if it's a trap, we're all falling into it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Fox Sports 1, FS1 at 3 o'clock. Michigan State at Penn State. The Spartans playing for bowl eligibility. Penn State trying to keep beating all the bad teams they play.
Something to be said for it.
Hey,
didn't they hang up 55 last week?
Listen, hey, you got to beat them. You got to win. It don't matter how good they are. Penn State 9-2. They've done that. 17.5 points for the Nittany Lions at home.
I'm going to go Penn State for sure.
17.5 is a lot of points. I can't do it. I'm going Michigan State.
Yeah, these spreads are crazy.
You never know what the weather's going to be like in these situations. I'm going to go Michigan State as well because they run the ball really well.
Will there be a whiteout though?
I don't know what the plan is, but there could be an unplanned one.
Yeah, I was about to say at 3 o'clock, probably not. I don't know if there will be a whiteout, but there will definitely be some wideouts. Nobody's running the wing tee these days down there. 6 o'clock.
Nice.
ESPN LSU at Texas A&M. A&M 9.5 point home dogs.
LSU at A&M.
LSU. Do they? They play home and home, right?
I'm sure they do.
This isn't some random jersey.
No, I don't think it's a neutral field.
Okay, yeah, it's at Caulfield. So yes, it's at A&M.
And you said 9.5?
9.5.
LSU covers that and then some.
I'm gonna say if LSU does go up, they're gonna put it on them for sure. So I'll do that as well.
77% of the general public also on LSU. This is another time where they're begging you to take LSU, and I'm going to let them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to go with the Bayou Bengals.
The Bayou.
All right, here we go.
6:30
on ABC. Number 15 Notre Dame. Number 6 USC.
Where?
At the Coliseum.
So I guess this question's probably asked a million times a day. Is Notre Dame good? I mean, are they? I can't tell.
It's a valid question.
They weren't, but now they are.
What's the number, Chris?
The number is 4.5 in favor of USC.
I feel like every time Notre Dame starts a game, they like have had something happen to where they go up, and I think that happens this week. And I'm going to go with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
I think Notre Dame would love nothing better than to play spoiler.
Yeah.
And throw the knockout punch at the Trojans.
To them Californians.
Ooh. What are you doing, Yao?
I'm going with the Irish. I think they went out right.
Really?
I think so too.
There's a lot of pressure on USC right now, and let's just face it: Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams have not faced pressure well in their careers together, or individually, for that matter.
You talked me into it. Much as I hate to, I'm going with the Irish.
What's the world doing? Yeah,
60% on the Trojans, 40% on the Irish. So
Hey,
the
look at
system
us.
says Irish as well.
Against the grain. Oh wait, no, systems. Okay.
7:00, Fox, Kansas State at home, 12.5 points. Favorites are the Wildcats against their cross-state rivals, Kansas.
Oh, KU,
who just extended their coach.
State. What was it? What did you say the number was? 12.5?
12.5.
What's K-State's record? It's pretty good.
8-3.
Yeah, it's not bad.
This is for the Big 12 championship game.
The winner goes to the Big 12 championship?
No. Kansas State's got a win to go.
Okay. That's
Kansas
right,
State,
because TCU is already in.
If Kansas State loses and Texas wins, Texas would go.
Gotcha.
Oh,
I like K-State in this. I kind of like their football team this year, to be honest. So I'm going to go K-State.
Did Martinez play last week?
Martinez did play last week, and they won 48-31.
Okay, I'm going K-State.
I'm with you.
What's Kansas's record? Just wondering.
6-5.
Okay.
They've not been as good since they lost their quarterback.
But they lost their quarterback, yeah.
Was that the school, the basketball school controversy?
Mm-hmm.
No, that was Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky, right.
Oh.
Same color.
Kansas has locked up Lance Leipold and committed $30 million to a new football facility. So clearly they're making some commitments to that football program. That's not going to help them this week, though.
Well, it's not going to help him this week, but it may help him keep him.
Exactly, which is they've got to do.
Yeah.
Finally, 6:30, SEC Network, SEC Saturday night, First Bank Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Tennessee, the Volunteers, 14.5-point favorites at the sold-out First Bank Stadium against the Vanderbilt Commodores.
14.5?
14.5 points.
Man.
With Joe Milton.
Mm-hmm.
Our record's not bad on the Vols games, are they? I don't know. I can't remember. I know I picked
this
Alabama.
This is a completely different Vols team, though, for the simple fact that Joe Milton is not Hendon Hooker.
That's true.
And Mike Wright is going to be a problem for Tennessee's defense. His legs are an issue.
And they won bad.
I'm not ready to pull a Herb Street and declare that Vanderbilt wins this ball game, but I think they cover 14.5 just because I don't trust Milton to be as accurate, and I don't trust Milton to take care of the ball quite as well as Hooker does or has. I'm taking Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Not necessarily to win, but certainly to cover.
Let me tell you what the difference is going to be. If Tennessee is going to win this football game, they've got to get huge games out of Jabari Small and Jalen Wright. Period. They've got to run the football for 250 yards.
Yep.
I'm I don't think they got to run it like that.
Or at
They
least
do need to-
establish it real early.
They're going to have to do, because I don't think Joe Milton can. I mean, can he make the long throw to Jalen Hyatt? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
And can anybody on Vanderbilt's team cover Jalen Hyatt, Brew
That's a
McCoy,
good
and
question.
Cedric Tillman? No, they can't.
All of them. Yes. Yes.
But
can he make those throws?
Can he make the throws?
For 4
That's
quarters, yeah.
the thing. Can he make the throws?
And can he make enough throws to his guys?
Yeah, I was going to say big plays might happen on both sides because of his throws, like he might make.
Vandy's not bad in the secondary, I don't think.
And all they're doing this week is watching those long throws. You know what I mean? For tape.
Joe Milton and Mike Wright may combine for 150 yards on the ground themselves.
He's quick.
The two quarterbacks may have 75 each.
There you go.
At least. Definitely a game manager. Joe Milton's more flashy, but I'm going to go with the Vols here. I think they do establish the run game. I think Joe Milton gets them fired up at the beginning, and then he can kind of just coast for the last 2 quarters, hopefully.
I'm also not going to say that the reason Tennessee is not going to cover this is because of infighting.
No,
because I don't think. I think that's over. I think that's dealt with. I think, especially after the situation that happened last week. Hey guys, we got to be a team.
Yep.
Going forward.
Yeah, squash this stuff.
And so I'm taking Vanderbilt to cover 14.5.
But you still got the Vols outright.
But I think Tennessee wins the game, yeah. 65% of the general public on the Vols there.
Okay, well, that's comforting.
Other games of note.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't not talk about tomorrow night. And of course,
no, we can't not talk about tomorrow night.
Mike Leach, Lane Kiffin. Could it be Lane Kiffin's last game as head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels? Very well could be. They are a 2-point favorite at home against Mississippi State.
Are we picking this one, or are we just talking?
We're picking this one. This is an extra. This is a extra credit here.
Okay,
2 points
at Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss,
in the Grove,
which means Vegas thinks that Mississippi State's the better team.
I'm going Lane Kiffin. I think he pulls out all his trick plays. He's going for it on every 4th down with a fake punt or field goal.
What'd you say? 2.5?
2, I think.
2 points. 2. No halves. No hooks.
No hook. Oh, good.
Yeah, I've never seen that, or I mean, I haven't in a while at least. With no half.
I've not seen on.
Yeah, I'm going Rebels for sure.
What you got? Yeah,
I'm gonna go Ole Miss as well, but I don't like it. I don't feel good about it.
You're not as confident as I am.
I mean, it's just silly stuff happens in the Egg Bowl, man. Exactly. And I mean, I think Ole Miss is the more talented team, and I think they're playing at home. So I feel like a field goal is about right. I'm going Ole Miss, but
you got to figure out who the silliest is.
And there will be some silliness. I mean,
tons.
Mark it down. Shoot. I mean, either Ole Miss's administration fires Lane at noon tomorrow or something because they feel like he's going to Auburn, and so they're not going to let him coach in the game, or any number of things. I mean, it's
God, wouldn't that be funny?
Oh, be but you're right. I mean, it's funny because it could happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Main Street Sports Day. And this week of Main Street Sports Day, again, we're off tomorrow completely. We'll have a best of show on Friday, but I will have the rundown for you if you want to catch that at 2:05. And then you can follow us at MS_sports today for all your high school football news in and around Southern Middle Tennessee, and also Main Street Preps from across the mid-state. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. For Justin, I'm Chris. Mo, do you want to do it?
Sure. Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.